Okay, so we're going to start with your first experience, right? You started in Air Force. So what was the reason for that?
Okay,
Yeah.
I actually had a bit challenging scenario in my early career where I just did my 10th grade and I really want to study. I want to do engineering. That was my direction. But
Okay.
I did not have that options available. For example, the first blocker for me was like, I cannot afford college, and someone told me that why not you join the air force as an apprenticeship trainee, and then there you can also do your college and also earn and can grow. I jump over there. I start my career in 2004 with Pakistan Air Force, and I did my apprenticeship there. But after apprenticeship, when I moved to the regular job, I figure out, okay, there's a blocker. I cannot study further as a regular person. I can do it by hiding it, but I don't want to hide myself. I want to do it openly. So there I think, okay, I have to redecide about my career, and maybe it was the wrong move and have to reset it again. So when I decided to leave that scenario and
Mm.
come back to a normal life and see, okay, what is now with me, I'm again after 4 years at the same stage where I was 4 years back. So I restarted everything from scratch. I did my intermediate, I did my 2 years bachelor as a private candidate, and I start my journey from there. And from there, I really feel that struggle is not gonna stop. You
Mm.
always have to be in struggling mode. It doesn't matter you lost last 5 4 years, fine. You can restart anytime because your life never stop. You need to keep going. My simple formula for this for everyone is like, if you wanted to see yourself today we are in 2025, and in 2030 you see yourself where you stand. If you stand behind then 2025, then it's really a problem for you that you should think this way, that where what I'm doing. But
Mm.
if you see backward from 2030 to 2025 and see, okay, I have achieved this, I have changed this in my life, so that's really what you got. And I had the same formula. When I saw in 2008 back to 2004, I realized that I jumped back to 4 years back.
Mm.
But I never stopped. When I see myself in 2012 till 2004, things got changed. And from 2012 to 2025, when I see myself in 2004, 2008, that span, I figure out that everything got changed now. Just because of one reason, I never stop. I just realized that I have potential and I should put my potential in the right direction. Failures are there. You will be defeated at a lot of points. You will be discouraged from a lot of people. You will be like having no chances. Okay, so like you, like me, we don't have very good chances in our early age from schooling, college, university. Some of us are blessed, but when it comes to the market, we don't have wonderful chances. So we a lot of have a lot of challenges, and even for us to move internationally is also a very is a dream as well and also a challenge as well. So nothing is easy for us. But if we never stop and we keep going, then you can see things got changed. Like if today I see myself in 2025 and back in like 20 plus years back, I see myself, I never thought of this life. And now I can realize that this is possible. If it's possible for me, then I would love to share my experience with everyone so everyone can do this. Maybe better than me. By
Yeah.
learning from my mistakes, my failures, they can make their direction more better. Yeah.
Yeah, man. It looks like this is what I call a champion mindset. Did you had that back then?
Actually, I believe I get all my direction from my failures and my wrong decisions. They help me a lot to drive the right direction because at the age of 16, to be honest, I don't have a very strong mindset to make a clear decision. You always see the people who is doing what and how this is going to be and what I can do, something like that. But the time came when you realize, okay, something happened and it happened wrong, and now I wanted to set it. So what option I have? So I have two options. First option, I can be depressed and I can go in a situation where I can waste myself. This is option A, which comes to you immediately because this is an easier one. You can go to anyone, you can tell, oh, this happened to me, blah blah blah, but no one is gonna give you the direction, but maybe it will be fun for them. This is option A for you. Option B for me was like, okay, something wrong happened, no problem, fine, it happened to me, it happened because of me, maybe I never took the right decision, then I should redo it. In redoing, I'm not gonna follow the same mistakes I done. Now I'm gonna make sure that I'm not gonna take that things again repeated in my life, so I will not be in the same situation after a few years. So that was the reason who give me direction, who give me a strong belief in myself that you should know yourself first and you should never think of people. I hide myself from the people, to be honest, for years. I know when I go to them, okay, man, you start a very good job and it was a permanent job. You left it, you left with nothing, you have to restart everything. And I know they want to say like this to me, but none of them is gonna say, okay, it's fine, you choose another direction. It will be good for you, and one day you will make something better. No one is gonna tell you. So when I realized this, I hide myself, I disconnect from my friends, I disconnect from everyone. Now I want to make myself something and I want to meet them with the new version of Hamad. So when they see the new version, they never talk about your past. They only talk about your latest version, what you are doing now. Oh wow. Then they ask you to give them direction. Yes, you should give them. Share your experience, everything, and your failures. But no, no one is gonna bring you back from that situation. You need to make yourself strong and just think one thing in your life never ended. If you lost everything, you as an human, as an Hamad and Silesio, you are there. You still need to live your life. Nothing gonna be stopped. So if you have this mindset, this make you automatically strong enough that nothing is gonna happen bad with you again.
Yeah,
This is life.
you learn with your failures. Man, that's a great one. So how? So you quit this your experience at Air Force. How did you get like your first professional experience?
In IT?
Yeah,
Okay. Oh, that was really tough one.
I-
So first of all, the struggle was like you need to make your profile enough that someone can allow you to sit in interview. For that, I started CCNA. I did my CCNP, and then I start preparing my CCI. I never did any certification. I did my CCI written certification, and I tried to attempt CCI exam, and I was not well prepared. I don't know exam really well. The
mm,
one who guided us was just like doing the wrong thing,
mm,
just pushing us towards the exam, but he never even attempt exam by himself,
okay.
and he don't know the value of that. He was good in training us till CCNP. I
Mm-hmm.
respect him still being my instructor, but I really don't like the way he spoiled us at that time. And I openly told him that you should guide us in the right direction. This was your job, not my job. So what he did, he just throw us to exam. When we sit in the exam, me together with my two three friends back to back, all of us got failed, and we had no choice left with just to think, okay, this happened bad. Two of them really mind it, and one left the technology, the other guy start his business, everything got changed in their life. I left with nothing, but I have CCI written exam certificate on my profile, which was far better than who have done CCNA or CCNP. And then I practice CCNA routing and switching lab a lot, so I know pretty much good in the routing and switching scenarios and the situation. And then there a job came. They need resident engineers. So I apply for that and they selected me for interview. When I was in the technical interview, the panel was there, the HR manager, the second position in HR, there were technical guys, team lead, everyone. But they were more focused on some kind of Juniper stuff. I was more focused on Cisco stuff. The technology was same. There was no change in technology. So I still remember one of the guy, he was the technical lead for Juniper, and he was like asking me some question on VLANs. And one of the question he asked me on VLANs, I challenged him that you are saying wrong, sitting in the panel, and I'm saying right. He say, how you can prove it? I say, okay, bring the device now. I'll prove you right now, right here, that what I'm saying is right. And I told him structure and everything and the background and all those things and justified. I say, I'm wrong, not wrong, you are wrong. So he really minded. He was a technical lead at that company where I was interviewing as a resident engineer. So then they say, okay, your interview is over and we can talk back later. Then, okay, I say thanks. I left the interview room and I was going in the balcony and going through from there. So when I go to the door, the HR manager run after me. Hamad, stop, stop. I say, what? He said, okay, hold on. We need to have your interview again. I say, don't you like now the way I deliver it? He really smiled and he said, look, man, we have resident engineer positions, but we really need a network engineer in data center direction at our company. So we wanted you not to continue with the resident engineer, but as a network engineer. I said, wow. I then recalled for another panel interview in a technical, and now that guy was not there. Now we had another technical team lead who was actually my team lead later on that company. And we he selected me and I started my first job. It's not mentioned on my LinkedIn because it was a very small timeline. I don't
Hmm.
want to mention it because then it's a question, okay, why you work for a few months? There's a reason, because then I tried to relocate and I was not get settled, and then I have to come back again. But at least I had something to write on my CV.
Mm.
And the funny thing happened with my first job was like, you really feel it now strange that there were trainees who finished their bachelors from very good universities and they were there to train for a few months. And they were part of my team. Together, they were handling the knock, and I was handling the regular changes in the network and everything. So every evening for 2 hours, I bring them to the whiteboard and I try to teach them a topic every day. I show them, okay, this is a switch, how you prepare a switch to replace, how you prepare a switch to install. And I told them, you guys are trainees, you guys are here to learn, and you should learn all this. So that's why you are here. So one of the person complained to my manager that Hamad is teaching to the people. I say, wow. My manager called me to his cabin. Hamad, what you are doing in the evening? I say, look, you have trainees. He said, yes. I asked him, why you bring that trainees? He said, the trainees came here for training. I say, I'm the doing same thing. I'm showing them what we are doing in production. I'm training them so they can be your force tomorrow. So if you have objection to train your trainees by me, I'm not charging you. I'm not asking you for money. I'm not asking you for any favor. I'm just sharing my knowledge. I'm just sharing what I'm doing here. So tomorrow they will be able to replace me for your company, for other companies. And that's why the guys are here, because they are newly graduate. They don't know how to work. This was my first job in IT. Okay. So he said, okay, Ahmad, you defended well. Keep continue. I'll take care. I say, oh, okay, nice. So basically, you have challenges after challenges. Like you wanted to share your knowledge is a problem. You
Yeah.
wanted to learn from something is a problem. You wanted to have your first job is a problem. But yes, the first job hunt is very struggling. It's not easy. You got rejected because of hell of reasons, and one of the bigger reasons for me was I was not the IT graduate
Okay.
with a 4 years degree. That was one of my gap. But the good thing with me was I was holding a 3 years technical diploma,
Hmm.
which was on the direction of avionics and
Okay.
electronics, which was still from the technical direction but different than IT. And the only thing I had with the IT was an interest. I feel like when I find computer, I feel like, oh, this is something I can really work well. During my
Mm.
diploma in all computer classes, I was the one who was performing the best. After my diploma and starting a job at university for some making some money and living, I was handling a lot of things on the computer. And I still remember one. I asked one guy, "Okay, can you help me how to install Windows?" He said, "Go and first crack the window." So once it's not gonna work, it's gonna stop working, then you will try hard to make it work and try it. I say, okay, I make it, and Windows stop working. I go back to him. Now tell me how to install the window. He said, he give me first two, three, four steps. Start
Yeah.
like this, put CD, there will be a process, start it, and
Hmm.
you will come to know gradually. I did it one, two times, and I came to know that's how you install the Windows. And then I realized in IT, it's not possible every time that you think do things right. That's why you have a development environment. You maybe
Hmm.
break things, but
Yeah.
that's your place to learn. And once you learn, then you need to reapply that knowledge, and
Yeah.
you keep reapplying that knowledge. And I was become so pro in installing the window that first time maybe it took 4 5 hours, and the next time it just took that time, and quickly I installed drivers and every required
Hmm.
software, and it's ready. So that's how you do the things, and you start everything.
Okay. There is one thing that I want to unpack there. The reason why you started with CCNA and CCNP. So, how long did it take you to pass those exams, to study and get those exams, CCNA and to CCNP?
To be honest, I never plan it like I have to start studying and then do the certifications.
Mm.
I started late in 2010, 11, and over a year continuously I was studying CCNA, CCNP, and CCIE in routing switching direction. And then I attempt the exam by just having CCI written exam, and then just having the you can say lab exam. Okay, I did not done any certification till that level. But in 2013, I got a chance to start working with a Cisco partner, and for that, I need to do some CCNA and CCNP certification. I already know that CCNA, and I never stop learning it, because for interviews, I was keep learning, keep learning. I remember there was a book from Cisco. It was with some keyword quick reference, I think, CCI routing and switching quick reference book. It was a very good book to learn for interview preparation, because they were gone through all topics but in a quicker way, not in a detailed way. I think maybe somewhere I will still have it.
Mm.
I really took that book over a year, and I repeat it hundred of times for my interviews, for everything. That helped me to build very good basic and strong understanding of CCNA, CCNP level. And that was then easier for me to pass the exam. So I then in 2013 I passed my CCNA and CCNP. CCNA I did my through Cisco Networking Academy,
You
because
started with
I had a
Academy.
friend. I
Yeah.
had a friend there, and he told me that you can join a course, and then you will get a voucher, and it will be less money to spend for
Hmm.
passing an exam. I did it for CC, and then I did for CCNP. But later, I never focused on any CCNA, CCNP certification, because I got to have to change my direction. We can come to that point. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, because it seems like a lot of people, they got into CCNA, CCNP without a direction on why they're going to do, why they should do it. And they just want to hold these different certifications from different tracks just because, but without a clear goal. And at that time, it seems like you kind of, someone gave you the direction, like you start with CCNA, CCNP, and then CCIE, and don't worry, you get the CCIE lab, is going to be easy, but without giving you the total picture, like what is going to be like and how to prepare for the lab exam. Okay, and how did you move from that situation to the next phase?
So first, I will come to your first point. What you say that the people start doing the certification, but they really don't have a direction. So I would simply like to say it this way. Now, CCNA have kind of all the content from enterprise routing, cloud security, and also automation. So they kind of mix it for every technology. So anyone is gonna starting in sorry, in networking direction, he must do CCNA because CCNA give him the very good sound understanding and the background and the baseline for network direction. Now he feel like I'm good with the automation, I'm good with the security, I'm good in the data center direction, I may be good in the cloud direction. So he should choose from this point onward. In our times, it was CCNA routing and switching, CCNA security, CCNA wireless, and CCNA collab, and all those directions. So people start to doing multiple to raise their bar in the profile to have a better job. And the companies really want to have one person who can do everything. And I'm really against of this because there are people who are multi-talented, but they get a chance to work on the different projects, and that's how you can speed up yourself. This is one way of doing things. If you are still start gathering the technologies and start practicing them from the three different tracks perspective, then it's going to be difficult. But still, we see one of the flavor in the market is very hot cake, like enterprise routing plus a security combo. This is something is a very good combination, like enterprise plus security cover a lot of the campus part, and it helps you to start a very good network administration job as well. This direction is still good because you somewhere have to start from low level, and administration is an easier way to start instead of engineering direction. So me personally, when I was doing the routing and switching thing and in my initial job, then I realized that I have to switch to another direction because I really don't like much routing and switching because I was not good in routing. In a core routing, I was not good, but in switching direction, I was good. Then I find there is a new CCIE. There was a CCIE storage before, which was vanished, and then
Mm.
they bring CCIE data center. When I hear that there is a CCIE data center, this was my keyword. CCIE data center. I have to go to that direction. So
Why?
yes, I'm coming to that. Why? So one of the employer give me a fatigue duty. It was a contractual job. He asked me to attend the Cisco's training from the FlexPod. So FlexPod is a combo of Nexus switches, 5000 series. There was UCS. There was NetApp storage. So these were the three chunks making one FlexPod solution. So FlexPod solution, I went on the training for FlexPod, and I really performed it very well. The instructor was from Cisco and he was a sales engineer. And he asked people, what is FlexPod? I raised my hand. I told him, FlexPod is this. It is for these kind of customers, blah, blah, blah. He asked me, how you know? I say, I just grab this training, I search a little, and I figure out this is very interesting product. He said, wow, it was 2 days training. And then there was a NetApp training, and I attend that training and I realize, okay, Nexus product line is not different than any router or switch iOS thing, but it just have a different software, different operating mode, and different kind of commands, but much simpler, much easier than routing and switching. I realized, okay, I should go deep into that. Then at that time, Cisco provide a kind of account where you can make your login through a Cisco partner perspective, and you can have access to Cisco's data center lab. So I pretty much practiced Nexus 2K, 5K, UCS, VMware at that time in that labs, and 7000 series even. And I pretty much use it a lot, because there was a schedule where you can book the session, and 80% of them I booked all the time to practice. I had time and I spent a lot of time on that. And I realized, okay, Nexus 7000 is a very good product line. Okay, wow, 5K, wonderful, 2K, wonderful. And how we are play with all this UCS and all those things, that give me direction. Okay, I have to go to the data center. So then I start learning data center technologies from Nexus point of view. Nexus I already learned from two workbooks. I still have that workbook. One was focused on Nexus 7000 and the other was focused on Nexus 5000. So I follow that workbooks and I pretty much learn a lot. And then I got a job already in 2014 with INE, which was really a wonderful experience. We can share and talk about it.
Yeah, you have to give me all the details how you find those jobs, how those jobs find you, because it seems like, oh, it just came up and it
Yeah.
happened. Yeah.
So we'll come on the INE.
Yeah.
So when I was working with the INE, my focus was CCI data center direction a lot. And there I got a platform as well to focus on. Parallel to INE, I had a project for another US based company who are having CCI data center rack rental for their customers. And they wanted someone to have technical support for 24/7. So I jump into that. I offer my services and I grabbed that project. And I was doing parallel INE and that project together, and that was the main place where I had all the equipment which was being used currently in CCI data center product line, UCS, MDS, everything we had. And I start building that environment. I start troubleshooting that environment. I start supporting the people who are using that. They bring a lot of new questions. They have issues in the configuration when they were working on that. And my job was to support them in any direction. And there I find, okay, man, this is the time to prepare for my CCI data center. And then it took up to 2 years. I was focusing on my preparation and I went for my exam and I passed it in my first attempt. And that was the whole journey for my CCI exam, which bring me to another direction. Plus, the best thing was I was having the real time experience while I was preparing my CCI exam. I already attempted once, and when I realized that I got failed, I went to the proctor and I asked him two questions. The first question was, "Man, did you pass your exam in the first attempt?" He said, "No." I say, "Okay, good. I have also not passed in first. Fine. That's the fun thing." Second thing, I asked him, "Okay, can you give me an advice for a CCI candidate? What should a CCI candidate do?" He said, "Time management is your key. If you can manage the time in best way, you can do this exam in a good way, because here we put you in a time pressure, and if you cannot handle that time pressure means you cannot attempt the full exam. That's the problem you need to address." So I make that thing clear on my notes that the time management is the main thing help me to prepare and pass this exam. And I use the same strategy for CCI data center. And when I was in practice, I finished my entire lab with the practice scenarios in 5 hours. When I was in the real exam, I do in a very calm and relaxed way with some time pressure, but I still remember that I finished my exam 30 minutes before the time end. And then I had my checklist. Okay, all these are being checked. I saved my configuration, everything is done from my side. And then I stood up. Okay, I done this exam. Now I wanted to leave. But I still remember that 20 minutes before my exam, I leave. And this was 11th September 2015. So, like, you remember all that history because you plan it, you prepare it, and that's how you go there. So, but it's a long journey, to be honest. It's not a small thing to do, but still, it's not impossible. It is possible.
Yeah,
So
man.
now I will come to the other question you asked me about INE's
Yeah.
job. Okay, so when I came to know about INE, INE was a US based company providing a wonderful trainings. They were having racks and everything. And I thought if they have all this, then they must have some people to support these things.
Hmm.
So I start reaching to careers at ine.com through mails and start following them. Do you have any jobs like technical support engineer or something like that, or different roles?
So you were asking them
I start
directly.
asking because I go to their website. I did not find the job. I start asking HR, "Man, do you have jobs for remote people who wanted to work with you, wanted to bring their skills for your platform because we have identical kind of stuff?" I never heard for 4 years from them. No one replied to me for 4 years. I never stopped. One day on Facebook, I'm not on Facebook, but at that time I had an account, and I go to INE website and I make a post. I comment over there, maybe, or I ask, I did a chat with the support person at Facebook, like, "Look, guys, do you have any jobs at INE for people like
You're asking.
CCNAs? Yeah, CCNP certified, who wanted to give you some technical support services." And She replied me and she said, "Oh yes, we are looking currently for some people who would like to join as a technical support, and this will be remote job." I said, "Wow, why not?" I sent my CV to her, and she said, "Okay, I'll send your CV to the hiring team, and they are going to contact you." I said, "Okay." Then the story start. So the first hiring manager for me was Jeremy Sean Brown. He was basically a military veteran, and he was working as hiring manager and also the team manager for technical support team. So there was some interview processes, and I was waiting for a reply, and Jeremy replied me that, "Hamad, from our side is done, but we are still waiting for next level to approve your position or not." So I say, "Okay." And one day I got an email from Jeremy. "Okay, Hamad, you got selected and you are going to start your training with the team lead." And that was a lady, I literally forget her name. "That you are going to start your training next week. Are you available between these hours?" I say, "Yes, I'm available 24/7. Just tell me when." So before this email, there was another email. They sent to me that, "Oh, sorry, we never selected you because your odds doesn't match to us." I said, "When I said this, man, I'm available 24/7. Just tell me when we need to start." They say, "Sorry, it was someone else. It's not you. So we are gonna send your offer." So they send me offer. I discussed with one of my friend who was in USA that this is the package and this is something I'm gonna do. He gave me a very good advice. Currently, he's CEO of his own company in USA, and he did a very great progress. And I'm still thankful to him that he guided me through. He said, "Okay, look, INE is a big name. They're having a good environment. You will learn a lot. So don't consider what they're going to pay you now. It could be less from the market perspective. You are also now sitting in USA. It's a remote job. So I believe you should start it instead of what they are paying to you." I say, "Yes, I have the same thought level and same decision. Let's go with that." And we started it like 19th July 2014. I started my job. So it started, and the first year was really challenging. I did a lot of effort. Like, I was not working just 8 hours a day, I was working like 12, 16 hours a day to make myself more stronger in that area. How we
Mm.
are supporting technically to all the people who are here in INE platform. You need to learn internal systems, you need to learn the structure of labs, you need to learn how we are handling it, you need to learn a lot of things. So I was working as the front line where people like you come and use INE's product, from the training products, their workbooks, their racks. So I was more responsible on the workbook and the rack direction. So
Okay.
people have issues like, "I'm unable to access it. They have a lot of challenges. So you need to address it on day-to-day basis." So while I was doing that, I realized that I'm doing this for INE. Maybe there could be another company who have same kind of setup and they may need my services. Someone told me about a company, and I reached to that company. Okay. And it was one man show company. And I reach out to him and I say him, "Look, man, you have a wonderful product," because I tested it. He was giving the 4 hours trial session. I took that trial session multiple times from different usernames just to grab some knowledge about his product line. And I
Hmm.
was preparing CCI data center, so I already come have a lot of knowledge on that direction. That how, and I was supporting at INE as well, the same thing. So I know how this is all working. So I make a report. I send him an email that one month I was keep sending him in frequent emails, and I give him a reason that, "Look, you are owner of the company and you are talking to each person directly, so you should focus on business and let the people talk to the people. You should have that people." So he asked me, "What kind of experience you have?" I say, "Look, working with INE, so I have this direction, so you can trust on my services." He said, "Okay, what kind of model you are going to give me?" I said him, "Okay, I'm going to give you 24/7 model, where I can support you. Doesn't matter when your customer came, but my services will available 24/7." He say, "Okay, let's do one thing. Let's do a trial for a month and see how you perform." I said, "Fine." So first 2 weeks I took to understand his stuff. I already understand a lot. I
Mm-hmm.
understand. I trained my people. I had a team of my cousin, my brother, and I want them to. Okay, my brother was doing CCNA, CCNP at that time. He already got training. So I asked him, okay, we have a project and we will work on that together. So he was jobless at that time. So he said, what I have to do? Told him, I will train you. Don't worry, I will train you. So I start training them. And over a month, I make all the services stable from the customer perspective. And on 20th plus day, he asked me, send me your account information. I said, hold on. We never decided to continue for the project. You asked me to do a 1 month trial, and then you will decide whether or not we'll continue. So he said, man, it's done. Let's continue. So I grabbed that project parallel to INE and it started working. I was managing both projects. INE don't know that I'm working for another company. Other company don't know that I'm working for INE because both were remote, both were in US. One was in shift model. INE was in shift model, and the other was in the 24/7 model, where I was leading mainly, and I had a level one, level two support team,
Mm-hmm.
and I was the only level three guy for them. So that's how I start managing these projects, and that project worked over 2 years. And after that, they stopped their services. But INE was keep going until like 8 years. I worked with INE in the same way. Then same formula I use for another company. There's a very big company, Fastland in Germany, and they also having kind of their rack rentals, their workbooks, their training, something like that. But they are official Cisco learning partners, so they have a very different way of working than INE. INE is a great company, so they are not a learning partner. So Fastland was a learning partner. So I went to their support and I offered them a support services model. And that email, I got a reply from support person that look, I'm not a responsible person for this, but I will forward your email to the relevant person. And the relevant person was a guy named Boris. So Boris was working as a manager in that team. So he come to me, he sit with me, he saw all my technical support model for 24/7, and he was really interesting to start this service for Fastland worldwide together with me and my team. So we keep going, but at CEO level, this project was rejected and we stopped there. After a few months, Boris reached out to me, Hamad, I have another project if you are interested to work. They wanted to expand their lab service to Asia region. So Asia region was like APAC and also my own region. And they were looking for someone to support them for grabbing the co-location, setting up the equipment, and starting the service and all those things. So I say, okay, wow, we start working without signing any contract. We just start struggling. Okay, we need to find a co-location. He give me first task. Okay, bring all that list for me. Then we find a co-location. We make a deal, and it took us 3 months to bring all the equipment online and start their service. 3 4 months it took for us. And after we done it, then one day Boris sit with me in a meeting and ask me, okay, Hamas, send me your account information. I say, man, we never decided anything between us. He said, we never decided, but the day I started this project, I had a budget, and within that budget, I'm gonna pay you first of all for the 3 months you work with me without having any contract, just trust on me. And thanks for that trust you made on me. Then we are going to bring this project for over 1.5 to 2 years for a trial period, and I will keep you guiding that how we can move forward. So we go that way, and that's how we started. And it went up to, you can say, 1.5 year in one go. And that project was working parallel with INE. So, but it was in a different region. It was in Europe, and INE was still in US. So it was keep going. So these are the three projects I hunt independently based on the skill I learned in the first year at INE. But
Mm.
the thing is, you need to know how you are gonna market your services to different companies, because maybe you are working in a very good direction, but there should be someone looking for you to have that services, but you don't know each other. So you need to know how you know each other, and there maybe there's an opportunity to grab. That's the only formula I always have when I'm finding the projects, when I'm working with one customer and I'm focusing another customer. But one thing is very important: when you got one customer, you need to make sure that that one customer is fully satisfied with your services. If you go to my LinkedIn, you will find the feedback from Brian, you'll find the feedback from Boris, because these are the people I work directly with them for their companies, and they directly say to the public that how we work together. And I got that feedback, I think, 1 year back, and I worked with them years back. The thing is that if you really deliver to your customer, that is your customer. They are not going to leave you until unless there's some policies. So the important thing is you need to bring your customer at best, because he's paying you and that is your worth. You need to develop your worth, which will take years and years. That's how you grow up in this area. Please.
Yeah, man, that's so strong. What there are a lot of things that I really want to unpack because you probably know people who have technical skills. You can consider them better than you at a certain level, but you said something is how to market yourself, and this is very common for IT folks. Like, we don't want to expose ourselves. That's why most of us got into IT, because we're not so good to with relationship, with talking to people. But you kind of always had something like pushing you to take the leap, go to this place, go to this direction. Like, I don't see myself reaching out to INE on LinkedIn. Hey guys, do you have a job? Like, I might see some people do this, but to me, like, I would never do that. No way. Trying for so long time, that's crazy. It's like, it is not about the perception that other people might have about you, but what do you want INE to have about you? Like, you're someone who's really interested, you're someone who really wants to work with them. They might not reply you now, but probably in the future they might reply, and then you might have an opportunity. So, is this
So
something like?
I
Yeah,
would
yeah, yeah, go
like to
ahead.
comment over here.
Yeah, go
Why
please.
should you do and why should not? Look, if you start sending email every week to someone, they're really gonna annoy because of this. Like you are just bothering them time and again and again.
Yeah.
The time I was talking about to send email to thousands of companies saying that I have these skills and I really want to work. So that was the only thing I have to do in my life because I have no job. I was in struggling phase. So I went to the list of Cisco and find the partners in Europe, in Gulf, in US. I make the list, find their careers emails, send email to everyone. Like I was doing like this to reach out to everyone to see if there is an opportunity, and that is also a part of INE. But I will say another way that look, I worked with INE in 2014 to 2022. And in 2025, we are still collaborating on some projects together with Brian. And now they know me directly and they were happily able to present me to their customer, okay, for a kind of project because we had a relation. But this time they reach out to me, not I reach out to them. So, like, Brian directly reached out to me to discuss an opportunity and find that I could also be a candidate for that. So I highlight it, and then we start our conversation and we present ourselves to customer together with INE. So you always have opportunity, but you need to wait for the right time. You develop your worth and how you gonna do that, and you build a relation. So I still have a relation with INE and we support each other. For example, if Brian make a post on LinkedIn, I really love to share it to people in my circle as well. It is their thing, they have nothing to give it to me, but I had a connection, I worked with them, so I had a feeling attachment with them. Second thing, what I was doing is if Brian posed a question to ask an information, which is a very good approach of him, that he never say to the people that I'm the very much expert and I know everything. No, he asks openly to the people, I wanted to do this. If someone have a good idea, share with me. I saw one of his posts regarding to that, and I reached out to him directly. Look, Brian, this is the way to fix it. And he said, "Did you try?" Yes, I try. Okay, can we try it? Yes, we can try it. Here's the document. Follow it. Go for that. So that's how I keep a relation, because it's not always that someone give you the project and you work with them and make the money. It is a kind of support in our direction, that we always have to support each other regardless of money, regardless of projects, because this is technology. Maybe you know better something than me, and I know better something than you, and we can share our experience and knowledge, and that's how we learn both and we grow both. So if you see my LinkedIn, I have articles, and that articles come directly from my real experience. When I got real issues, I write an article about my projects, and I post to the people, that people can question me, they can ask me, and this will bring like more horizon to my knowledge, that how I can learn more about all this.
Okay. Another thing that you also mentioned is some projects you shouldn't look at the beginning. If it's valuable, if the project is valuable, don't look at the money first. Look at the
Yeah,
project, at the experience.
true. Because the thing is, if you see the example of INE, if I count the number of customers I attend over 8 years, there were about maybe 200 customers. So 200 customers have a direct interaction with me over 8 years. Okay. And frontline, maybe someone just came to us one information, and someone have interaction for over hours, depend on the situation of the customer. But at least you come to know that there could be customers who can be very good, there could be customers who can be very worst, and we had a situation. So while working parallel with INE at IREX, there was a customer who really abused me while we were supporting him. I still support him. And when I was in interview with Amazon Web Services in 2021, so I quote that example, and the interviewer asked me, "Really, this happened?" I say, "Yes, this is a real example." Because she asked me a question, "Show me a critical customer example where you help the customer out of the box." I showed this example, that there was a problem with the customer. I tried to solve him. He started abusing me. I fix his issue. And after I fix his issue, I tell my manager, "Look, I solved this issue. I'm not here to be abused. But he did this shit, and I really report you. Then it's up to you." My manager handled him in a very good way. But the problem is, like, you come to know about customer, about experience, and the thing you talk about, that initially maybe each project is not showing you big horizon,
Hmm.
but still it will have an impact maybe later, maybe during that phase, that it will provide you better worth, and you will be able to grab maybe more because of that experience. And this really happened in our IT world.
There's just something that I want to highlight is that when listening to you, people might have the idea that you started with the INE and then a month later you got another project and a month later you got another project. No, there is a difference of years, months from one project to another. And
Yes.
it looks like you were really looking for the opportunity instead of waiting for the opportunity, like you said the first before you were jobless. And when I tell to people, like, if you don't have job, your job is to find the job, like the
Yes.
24 hours, find a job. And that strategy that you applied was something that you came up with, or someone told you probably should do this, Ahmad. And you're ready at
so
INE, you probably should look also at this company. How
so
did
for
you come up with
example,
with the strategy?
so when I was in that situation, when I was looking for the job and I have no job, so as you mentioned, that when you don't have the job, your job is to look for the job.
Yeah,
That is your job.
yeah.
So what I did is, like, first of all, I was heavily engaged on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a very good platform. I'm using it since my early career, and I make sure that my LinkedIn is up to date, my CV is up to date. That is the first thing any company wanted to see in your profile. Second thing I try my best is like find the jobs on the LinkedIn and read their job description, what they are looking, match those skills in your profile. And if you are missed with something, try to grab that skills, because when you are gonna sit in the interview, it's gonna be happen that they are gonna test you from all that direction. So as you mentioned that maybe I got a job at INE and then after a few months I got this and that. No, first of all, INE's job was like 4 or 5 years struggle to reach to the INE. Once you reach to the INE tests you first if you are the right candidate for INE or not. I was the only person from all over my country who was working directly with INE at that time. And there were people who were more brilliant than me at that time, but they don't know if INE can have that opportunity. I try to find it, and I know it, and they find me the right match, and we started. That is also a gap we should think of it. And then you talk about that there should be a strategy where maybe you are applying for multiple jobs altogether. If I show you my email at that time, maybe in 1 year I sent 1,000, 1,500 applications, and in return maybe I did not get a reply of even 1%. Okay. So the thing with me is when I start something, I never stop. I keep going till the time you find it. And now, as you know, I'm sitting in Germany since last 7 years. When I came to Germany, the first job I hunt was like quicker, but I had a strategy. The first strategy was I already worked with one of the German company, okay, for over 1.5 year. So they tried to hire me, but because their project was not going to be start, so this hiring went stop. When I was in that process, I already engaged in a lot of interviews. For example, I was hired by Blizzard in France when I was sitting in Pakistan. I was selected for two companies in UAE, Singapore, Bahrain, a lot of different location. But I had a personal reason at that time with my mother. I was unable to move due to some reason. The interviews went over at the very final stage. Same happened to the Blazer. Same happened to the Fastland. Same happened to another company in Europe. But then I decided to come to Europe. Before I come to Europe, I did my research. What are the best job finding sites in Europe? So I find two websites, LinkedIn and Xing, Xing. Zing is also a company which is really active in Europe and they have jobs. And then there is another site, Europass. Europass is also a website you can find the jobs in Europe. Europass give you a CV format, which is like tabular CV format. And all over the Europe, you have to use this format. So I make my CV in Europass format. I start looking jobs on LinkedIn and Zing, and I start making my connection to the recruiters. And there was a recruiter named Pauli, and she was in contact with me. And I exchanged my profile, and they always have customers in the market. And she said, "Okay, we can present you to our customers." So we tried it. I told them, okay, I'm coming in October. And once I will be there, I will let everybody know. So not just Pauli, but there was 10 recruiters who are in my connection, who had my profile, and they know I'm coming to Germany.
Mm-hmm.
So the day I came to Germany, I never wait to have relax. I sit on my computer and send them an email. Okay, guys, I'm in Germany. Everyone, this is my location, this is my number, tell me if you have any jobs. And the very first week I start scheduling my interviews, and then it started, and I had like 5 6 opportunities in the start. Out of one was matured with EMP merchandising. They were looking for a network engineer. And the funny thing was, my manager gave me a kind of series of tasks. I finished them. Like the next task, I finished in the first phase. And he said to me that I was supposed to give you this task in next phase. So there was some back-to-back interviews and everything. And then he hired. And one day he asked me that how much time you stay in US. I say I never ever go to US. He said, "You were working with INE in US." I said, "Yes, but remotely, not on site." He said, "Man, I thought maybe you have a very good international experience and you also work in US. Now you are working with us." I say, "I have international experience, yes, but not to be on site in US, but remotely. You can grab that. benefit of me, but this confusion make him to hire me already. So sometimes things got connected and they works for you. So I still wanted to talk about the same thing. In Germany, try to find more better, more right job according to my career, my direction, and my specialization niche. It was really hard because in if you see Middle East have a very different way of working of Cisco partners, and I was very used to with that, and I was thinking the same in Europe. In Europe is totally different. We can talk briefly about how you have to start your career in Europe and what direction you should choose. We definitely talk about it. But to
Yeah, we
make it
have to.
short, in Europe, things are very different. And can you believe I have gone through 50 plus interviews in starting from 2019 till 2020 June to grab the right job? 50 plus interviews. First of all, I never stop myself to apply for a job where I find a good match. And no company wants you to match 100%. 50, 60% is good approach. You are matching, maybe you miss with some skills, they miss with some expertise, but you balance it if you become the right candidate and you join
Hmm.
and you start. That's the one thing you need to think very openly. Don't think that you are the 100% the accurate candidate. No. Second thing, what I find is like 50 plus interviews. When you sit in the interview, not every job have the right description. So they maybe copy paste is, but when you sit with them and you talk to them, what kind of project you have, what kind of things you are working on, what kind of product line you have, they don't know much and they don't have better idea about it, and it then become a mismatch from your job role perspective to the job offer they are giving. And the recruiters here who are approaching you, first of all, I find that there's a big gap in IT recruitment. In recruiters, they really don't have knowledge that what a network engineer or network administrator or a system administrator or a system engineer doing in their direction. They bring system administrator jobs to you and see you are the right match. You are not. You got excited to apply. I simply tell them, I'm not the right candidate, find someone else. They don't know how to find it. I really love the recruitment direction. I try to mentor people, I try to make them understand all this. And I know that at some day I will bring some beauties to this direction to the people because they should understand. I, being a recruiter, what should I know from the perspective of a network engineering direction or system engineering direction? So that is also a gap. Then, if you filter out maybe 10, 20 jobs are relevant to me out of that all journey, but there was a corona period over 2 years in Europe market that really impact the job market, and there were a lot of jobs where I got selected but the projects got discarded because of some corona situation. And it
Hmm.
happened to me in one of the job role as senior network engineer at Orange, where I got selected in COVID time, and then they stopped that hiring because of the COVID situation. So it happened to you, but it's not a stopper. And even when I was in COVID, I lost my first job due to some reason, and I was now looking for a job. And this is really interesting story in all that journey. Two things happened. The first thing was I was in a situation where I need to find a job. I have no option because if you don't have a job, you will be leaving EU because you are a holder of blue card, and blue card allow you to stay for 3 months without job. If you did not secure that job, you have to leave back to your country. So, Fastland Germany have their customers who wanted to hire the people for Amazon Web Services. They will train you for AWS Associate and Professional certification. And from the first day, after 6 months of training, you will start working with a kind of AWS partners. So, in that situation, I send my CV and they select me for the initial phase, which was over 3 days. And in 3 days, 2 days were they need to train you on different technologies and evaluate you. This was an evaluation. And third day, they were having a test. So the funny thing was on the first day when the trainer was conducting the training, he did have interaction with the people. I was the only guy who was CCI certified, who was having experience from network. But the situation was like I was looking for a job. It was just a situation, you have COVID time, and it's just you need to find the one to survive. It was a survival, basically. That's what I want to say. So I become the part of the process, and instructor asked me, Hamad, can you please teach this section? Let me finish my lunch. It become a bit late. I teach that section during my own evaluation phase. And the third day, the evaluation completed. And then at that time, I make a decision. I would like to add one thing here. It's not professional, it's not religious, to be honest. I'm Muslim, and we believe one thing, that whatever comes to you is from Allah. It's decision. And we talk to Allah to find if that decision is right or wrong. Okay. So normally we expect that there is a job in AWS partner, and this is a survival situation. I'm the best candidate. I should get it. Okay. This is
Hmm.
one situation. But in reality, maybe this is not the best for you, and you better deserve something best. So we ask Allah, tell me what is right and what is wrong. And now today is the decision day, that they need to send a decision. Now, whatever is the decision, I have to accept it because I asked for the right direction. Okay?
Okay.
The decision came, Hamad got rejected. I got an email, and before I open the email, I say, okay, whatever is the decision, I have to accept it by heart, and I have to wait for the better than this
Hmm.
if I'm rejected. So I open the email, I got rejected because of any reason. I did not dishurt, I find okay. And then there is a job pop up on LinkedIn in Amazon Web Services as a network technician. I think, man, I'm working as a network engineer. Is a network technician job? Okay, it's survival. Let's apply. I apply, and I had an initial interview done. I had the first technical interview. He was my colleague with him. So I had that interview. And during the interview, he finished the first phase and he was jumping to the second phase. And he said, okay, now we'll move to the second phase, which is a leadership phase. I asked him, hold on, hold on. In network technician role, where leadership came? He said, who told you this is a network technician interview? I say, in your job description, it's network technician interview. He said, no, it's a network project lead interview at level 4 in Amazon Web Services. Is it not network technician? It's the mistake from HR. I say, okay, now come about the leadership. Let's go. So then I have series of interviews, and my interview with Amazon was the best ever experience in my career. I love the way Amazon do interviews for the
Yeah.
people. Oh my God.
Yeah.
They
The best one.
literally let you think what you have done in your career. And the only formula Amazon have to judge you, be who you are, nothing else. That is the only advice they give you in the email when they send to you for the interview. So what happened, I become network project lead in Amazon Web Services at level 4, and I was rejected from a training position with Amazon partner at some place where I was the only best candidate. So see, not everything is perfect for you. Maybe you got rejected from somewhere just because you deserve better, and the better will come to you. I'm a Muslim, I have a different thought. In
Hmm.
generic, I will say to everyone that if you got rejected because of something, it does not mean that you are the worst person. It means maybe you are not the suitable person for them. That's the first thing. Second, maybe that is not a suitable place for you. So if I compare that trainee position parallel with L4 with Amazon Web Services, coming to the L4 from that trainee position was a 5 6 year span. And jumping to that L4 position directly in Amazon Web Services, in vendor directly, in FANG company directly, was just an interview process over 1 month. So, which was best for you? Amazon Web Services. And you got
Huge.
it. So, that's how things really change for your career when you are in that situation. So, you need to find yourself where you fit best, and you need to keep finding. And one last comment from Amazon Web Services, which was the best ever comment I have from any of my manager in my career. So it was my first day at Amazon Web Services, first one-on-one with my manager. He was guiding me how to start your onboarding, everything. So After having the normal greetings, he said, okay, the very first thing I want to say to you, Hamad, is I need to know in next 2 years what you wanna become at Amazon Web Services. Ask him, just gonna join network project lead and you are asking me what should be my career at Amazon Web Services? He say, yes, I wanted to know it now so I can drive your direction to the same journey so I can support you to become this guy in next 2 years. And that I figure out whenever I was having the people in my interviews. There were like 5 6 people in my panel interview and back to back. So whenever I have that people in interview, I go to their LinkedIn and see their career in Amazon. I did not find any person who never grow up in every 2 years. And I asked this question when I was in interview. They asked me, okay, do you have any question? I asked this question: how is possible that everyone is growing in every 2 years from his initial role to the next one? They say this is Amazon culture. And I find that culture on my first meeting, first day from my manager, that this is where we wanted to bring you. That's
Hmm.
how they have made their company like special, to be
Yeah,
honest.
yeah. No, that's great. I've been to one, probably two interview process for Amazon, and like you said, this is the best experience because it really tests who you are,
Yes.
what do you want professionally, and also from a personal perspective, and also whether the things you're doing are aligned with things that you want in the future. And it makes you think about what you want to become. Like, are you moving towards something great? Are you Do you want to become a better version of yourself in the future? Because a lot of us don't have that kind of mindset. We don't think about, we just think about probably tomorrow, probably next week, but
We
we don't
don't
think
know.
about the next version of ourselves, right?
We basically don't know ourselves. That's the problem.
Yeah.
So what I was really figuring out from the Amazon interview, they realize me who you are, okay? And they tell you this is you are, and now you know yourself and make better version of yourself. And I will tell everybody here that don't shy, don't feel that you are the not the best candidate in any interview process. Don't make lies in your CV. Whatever is written in my CV is real, genuine thing I did in my career. If you ask me anything in 2004, in 2014, in 2019, 21, 23, 25, what I have written, I have on my fingertips because I write it what I did. And what you did, you never forget. So remember, I say 19 July 2014, I start my first day at INE. I remember it over here. Why? Because I did it. Okay, no one challenged me. The point is, what you really done, just write it on your CV. I accept that when we don't have much experience, we highlight more skills. And sometimes it's also important for recruiters. For example, I'm working in Asia, and recruiters mention, okay, you also need to know how to develop the access policies, tenant policies. Man, that's the part of the ACI. I don't need to write it, but you need to write it for recruiters because they try to tag the keywords.
Keywords.
Okay, Hamad did ACI, but he don't know how to write the access policies. So come on. So
Yeah.
they don't
Yeah.
understand this. We understand, but you have to write them all in more detail sometime, and that is fine. That is not gonna be making you fake. No, no, that's totally fine. But what will make you fear in the interview and make you fake when you are writing some kind of fake experiences which you never attend? Because if someone comes to me attending an ACI or Nexus World interview, I will ask 2 3 questions. I will judge if he really work or not. So this is very simple to me. Same goes to any interviewer when I'm sitting in the interview. So that's how the things will come on. And again, there will be a time come like after a decade, no one is gonna question you again about the tell me the private VLAN and how you develop it. It's not gonna be happen. Maybe they more talk about the business continuity, about the projects, about how you're going to lead the team, how you're going to deliver the projects, and they know and they accept your experience because you have worked on this technology. That's totally fine. That time will come with you. But in start, just grow gradually, go in real, and that's how things will keep going.
Okay, man. Just before we wrap up, because there are three topics that I believe we have to cover real quick. So one of them is relocation. You did relocate from Pakistan to Europe. You could have done this before because of personal reasons. You have to do it later. What do you have to evaluate when you plan to relocate?
Okay, this is a very wonderful question. First of all, I try my best in my own country to find the right job role. And I did 15, 20 interviews, and some of them give me an offer, but they were giving me a very bad offer. Like they don't value your certification, your experience. I find this in some companies, and sometimes you don't have opportunities because those people are sitting there, they are not going to grow up. A concept from my perspective is, if I'm sitting today at a position, I need to grow up so someone can replace me tomorrow, so the other people in the community also have the chance. So this was one of the main reason that I decided to relocate, because I know if I relocate to another market, I definitely get a better job opportunities. But relocation itself is not an easy thing, because people try to make a shortcut in their life. So first of all, there is no shortcut in your life. Let it be clear, you have a journey, and if you've gone through that journey, you definitely get your destination. So, for example, I relocated to Germany. So, when you are relocating to Germany, it is a longer process. You need to find the right way of relocation, and then you need to have right skills and right requirements to be filled to grab a job in Germany. I want to talk about this in more detail. We'll do it later, but this is how you can start. The relocation is very important. If you don't relocate and you really find that in your surrounding you don't have better opportunities, my point is, relocate for some time, for 5 years, for 10 years, grow up yourself, and bring opportunities for your people who are around you. Instead, making progress for yourself, giving them chance to learn from your international experience and help them to replace you in that markets and grow them up. Because if you see the situation of Europe from the IT world perspective, you are sitting in Portugal, I'm sitting in Germany, we have a lot of opportunities vacant all the time. They need people. And if I'm available here, you're available here, we cannot fill all the roles. They need people from different location. So I always encourage everyone, if you have the right circumstances and you can afford this relocation, you must do, but it is a struggle. If you don't want to do this struggle, it's not going to happen. So for example, someone came to Germany, he have a struggle of 5 to 10 years time. Initially maybe you are doing a very baseline job, but the only point I have, don't go for irrelevant jobs. Try to find the best relevant job in your career, because that will lead you towards the better job. If you try to divert yourself after having a struggle of 4 5 years or 10 years in the back, then maybe you are wasting yourself. You need to be very concentrated on your direction. This is also a struggle, and this demands a lot of like sacrifice. I had done this, and I can share that experience how and why. But at the end of the day, you find an opportunity, and that opportunity is waiting for you because you wait for that opportunity at some stage.
Yeah, man. Okay, so couple of things to evaluate there is not going to be an easy journey. Okay, so I am in Germany, I'm in Portugal, I am in France. How do I find the job? You already mentioned a couple of websites, right? LinkedIn, Zinc, Europass. And is there some strategy like just just applying to all the positions that I can find? Or is there a specific strategy that I can use to make it efficient?
Okay, yes, there's a strategy. So first of all, I'll talk to about this topic a bit briefly, so people can understand that how they really need to make a plan to relocate. So I can mainly guide them about Germany, Portugal. You can guide them, but overall Europe, it is the same scenario. It's not
Yeah,
different. Maybe you will be
yeah.
agree. Okay, the very first thing you have to realize that what you are gonna bring. Do you CCI certified, CCNP certified, CCNA certified? It does not matter. They need people at every stage. They need experts. They also need assistant and professional people. So nothing to fear. What I have not. Second thing is, the very first point is to secure a visa. Okay. So you have two, three options in generic. First of all, Germany open a visa for job search visa, which is called Chancenkarte. So they have some basic requirements. First of all, you should have maybe a 2 or 3 years diploma, technical diploma, which you can evaluate in Germany. And with that evaluation, you will be allowed to work in the market. And that evaluation will also help you once you grab a job. You will be proceed further with the relevant processes like PR and nationality and all those things. So those people who don't have the 4 years or 3 years bachelor's degree, they can still come if they are a holder of diploma. Those people who don't have diploma but having the job experience in IT direction, and they can prove it with their experience letter or with the other scenario or with certification, there is a flexibility from German embassy to you that you can still grab the particular permit for IT. I will find the right name and text you so you can
Yeah.
also quote that one.
Yeah.
So there is a specific visa for IT people only because there is an IT need here and you need it. And then the third thing is you are holding a bachelor or master and you wanted to come to the market. You can freely arrange a job search visa, chance and carte, and you have the best chance to grab it quickly and come over here. But once you are here, the very first challenge you got, do you speak in German? So the first thing you have to do, learn Deutsch. So if you don't speak German, then pretty much 50% of the market is out of your way. They are not going to consider you because a lot of jobs simply say you should have a fluent German. So fluent German means like you have at least B1 level of German. So you can speak fluently. Then you can ask the question, can I speak in German? No, I'm learning it. Currently, I'm learning it very aggressively. But yes, there are IT jobs where you can overcome this requirement because none of the IT systems are in German other than some softwares. If you're working in Cisco, if you're working on Juniper, if you're working on Huawei, they all come with English context. They are not gonna work in German. But German is required for having the conversation with the teams, and maybe you are working in an parent German company, then you need to figure out you should speak in German, or maybe your customers speak in German. So this is very important thing. So I will say if you are planning to come to Germany, it doesn't matter you have IT experience, you have diploma, you have bachelor's, but still you wanted to have to come, make German skills at a very good level, and you can secure the job by sitting in your country. If you secure a job by sitting over there, then you can secure a blue card by sitting over there and come directly with your family over here. This is very
Mm.
simple, very straightforward, very easy peasy. But German people are not that friendly with hiring the people internationally. But there are a lot of companies who can help you to come over here and they don't mind to
Hmm.
hire international people. If you are sitting somewhere in Gulf, it's easier to come compared to like from Pakistan or from maybe Angola,
Yeah.
something like this. So I also refer to the people that maybe you have experience from Pakistan or from Angola. Maybe it is just initial 5 year experience and maybe it's not that worthy. You should move to an initial market like Gulf, which is an easy move. Go over there, have 2 3 4 years of experience, make a very good at least a decade or half a decade experience, and then it's much easier to relocate from there grabbing a job. But there is another way as well, which I really love, but it's not for the people how I move because I moved in 2018. In 2018, I was already having kind of like 4 to 6 years of experience. So I was not at some stage at initial. I
Hmm.
was also not at a very good mid career level. Like I was below that. So this was a critical time. But my superpower was I was CCI certified and I was working on different projects with my international customer. And that skill I bring. So I market that skill and through that I grab a job. Now I would like to talk about mainly about the students. So we have a lot of students coming for bachelor, for master, for PhDs. They wanted to come and settle in the market. So PhD have a different track. I will not talk about it. Master. Those people are coming to do master. Maybe they have 2, 3 years of initial experience. So, first of all, you should grab some initial or professional level certification in your career, which could be in line in European market and they have worth. For example, CCNP. If someone is coming from networking direction, he should have a CCNP at least, together with initial 2, 3 years of experience. He is coming as a student. So being a student, you are allowed to work 20 hours a week. So you can grab a student job, which is a professional job relevant to your profession in the market. During that job, you can continue your study and you can do your job. And even this will help you to write your thesis. So let's say in 1.5 year, you work as a student, you also finish your master, you grab your initial experience of the market, and you already know German at B1 level. Then there are companies in Germany who find such candidates and give them 1 or 2 years of training program. For example, Cisco. Cisco have a program of 1 year where they hire the sales engineer or the technical engineers, consulting engineers. As they have the consulting and engineering graduate program and technical sales engineers graduate program. This is 1 year program. The requirements they have is you can speak local language, you have the full-time working rights in local market, and you have an initial training or experience to that direction. Okay, if you fill these requirements, Cisco will hire you, train you for a year, get you certified, and already landed you the day they hire you on the job, and you will work parallel with Cisco in this job role. I have a Cisco colleague here named Felix. He come through that sales track. He is currently working as a global customer success manager for our company, and this he have the same track. We don't know this track because we don't exist in this market. But when we are coming to this market, and if we plan this way,
Hmm.
we can be the right person to jump on this track. And I believe who is coming with 1, 2, 3 years of initial experience, coming to do his master in IT or management and technology or engineering, it is the best pathway for people like him or her to start their career in Germany and overall in Europe. And if I get this chance in my life, I would really prefer it because I already beyond this part and less than a very stable position where I am now.
Hmm.
I was in between, so I had some struggle to do. So this is very important for us to understand the structure, the criteria. Again, we will say that this is a journey. This is not a easy thing. Don't think this is a shortcut. It took years. Okay. And over these years, you gradually grab all these things. And that's how you become one of the best professionals and you then have growth ahead of you. No one is going to compete you if you go to this track. But if you are coming like me, then bring a very good skills which can help you to grab an initial job, and then you need to make your direction very clear so you can keep growing and you never stop.
Last question. If someone wants to get into IT, want to go professionally, which area do you think they should focus more based on what you see currently in the market in Germany or in Europe? Like, should I go to data center, security, AI? Which track would you direct them that is going to be the best based on your experience?
So I currently have one guy who just came to start his communication engineering at TH Hamburg, and he just came on the first week of October, and he was connected with me during all this process through a reference. Now he want me to, okay, I want to start my career in IT. What should I do? So he have a base experience of some development from his initial days. But I simply tell him one thing. First of all, I tell everyone that you should go and do an introduction of all the technologies. For example, you wanted to go to networking, do an networking introduction at a very base level. What in networks you are doing. Don't just focus with Cisco, just go with some associate initial introduction phases in networks, in Huawei, Juniper, and see which give you a spark. Number one. Number two, today things are changing. Then also grab a taste in data science, go for AI, and explore all these directions. And then realize which direction really gives you an interest. If data science is giving you an interest, or network or system giving you an interest, that's your direction. It's not that I should ask you, okay, do CCNA, do CCNP, do CCIE, this is your direction. Maybe you will not able to perform well. Maybe I'm doing well, maybe I'm not best for another direction. I figure out in this direction that I can do best because I get a chance after learning, I get a chance of having the real experience, and then I start growing. Same you need to do. For example, there's a guy who find himself best in AI. Okay, he started and he grabbed the initial skills and trainings very quickly, and he can prove his skills in a very good environment better. That is his direction. So simple thing, find your potential, find your direction. In Germany, all fields have good opportunities. If you see networking, if you see system, if you see AI, yes, AI is booming up nowadays, automation, every direction have a good growth, good level of jobs everywhere, and they need people. Don't think that the only way is networking. If you have a mentor and he really guides you in the right direction, and that direction you have resources to skill up yourself and you develop your interest already in that, then that is the right direction for you. That's how you will find the best way for yourself. That is my perspective. Maybe I can be wrong, but I really find it very useful for anyone who really start. And the guy for which I put the example, I gave him 2 weeks to think whether you want to start networking. And for that, I asked him to explore all the direction. And after 2 weeks, he come to me and he say, "Okay, I like networking. I want to start." In that case, I say, okay, let you start from Cisco Networking Academy, where you have everything free and you start from the basic and you need to explore. And again, in CCNA, I ask him, okay, do CCNA, do CCNA CyberOps, and do CCNA automation, because these are the three CCNA. Do the trainings for all this
Mm.
and then realize in which direction you find yourself more active, more interesting, and that will become your direction. There you need to go for professional and expert level, because that's a very easy way for me to figure out what could be my direction. And later, maybe we find the best scope in cyberops but not in CCNA automation direction. Then it depends, like at that time you are already a big good professional that who can drive his direction by himself better. But initially you need a start, and a start must be with a clarity. So tomorrow at professional level you don't look back and I have to start again from another direction. No, just move on.